Cool, what up, fans? Episode 1. So I'm going to be taking care of the basics here. And the basics are take care of yourself first. Don't try to make more money. Focus on making sure that you can live and you can see another day, that you can eat, right? So the first thing you always want to do is build yourself an emergency fund, okay? Emergency fund. Step 1, emergency fund. Now, why have this emergency fund? For example, if your car breaks down and you can't get to work, that's a problem. Now you can't make money, right? You need an emergency fund. That way you can go fix the brakes in your car. That way you can go buy a new tire, whatever it is, okay? Your fridge breaks down. Now you don't have food. You need somebody to come fix that for you, right? If you can't fix that, if you don't have an emergency fund, you can't eat. You step on the basketball court with me. I fucking break your ankles, right? Now you have hospital bills. What you gonna do? Emergency fund.
Okay? So step one is always build yourself an emergency fund, worst case scenario. I recommend 2K. Start with 22,000.
Okay? Every single time you dip into this emergency fund, before you do anything else, rebuild that cushion, rebuild that pillow.
Okay, so for example, your fridge breaks, it costs $200. Great. Now you spend everything else that you do. First paycheck you get, you take $200 out, put it right back into your emergency fund. Okay, emergency fund, step one.
Now, after you have your emergency fund built up, $2,000 in your emergency fund, the next step is to get 3 to 6 months worth of expenses. Why do you want to build a cushion for your expenses? If you get laid off from your job, if you lose your source of income, right, now you can survive for 3 months. 3 to 6 months is generally where you want to have a rainy day fund is what they call it. So you want to have a rainy day fund. 3 to 6 months for yourself in case you lose your job, right? In case you lose a source of income and in case you lose a source of liquidity. Okay? So let's break down what your monthly expenses might be. Rent, $700. Utilities, gas, water, electricity, $160. Groceries, if you're little like me, $200. Transportation, if you're in Chicago, $100 for the CTA. If not, car bill, gas for your car, $100. Phone, $60. Wi-Fi, $40, right? These are just the bare necessities that you need, right? For the modern day human being, bare necessities. Comes out to a total of $1,260. So you need to have 3 months worth of $1,260. 3 months worth of $1,260. 3 months worth of expenses, $3,780. So you need to have in total $5,780 stored up. $2,000 for your emergency fund and 3 months worth of expenses in case you lose your job. Now, if your job is more cyclical, if there's a chance that you may get laid off, like there's a boom period, there's a feast period, and there's a famine period. For example, if you work at a water park, the only time you really have income, assuming you don't have another job, is during the water park season, during summer, right? So you want to have at least 6 months worth of expenses, not 3 months worth of expenses, because you know you're not going to have a job for 6 months. So if you're in a cyclical industry, 6 months worth of expenses. If you're in a non-cyclical industry, 3 months worth of expenses, right? So 3 to 6 months worth of expenses, okay? $3,780, but you can just do a breakdown of all the stuff you pay on. So rent, utilities, groceries, transportation, phone, Wi-Fi. That's it. Everything else you don't actually need. So emergency fund, step 1. Step 2, 3 to 6 months worth of expenses. All right, step 3, pay yourself. Okay, let me tell you what most people do. Don't be most people. This is what most fucking people do. You get an hourly wage of $15, right? Just keeping it nice, $15 if you're lucky. Hourly wage of $15. You work 40 hours a week, $600 weekly, $2,400 monthly, right? A lot of people will say when you go and you talk to them, hey man, how much do you make? They'll tell you what they gross. Oh, I make $2,400. No, you fucking don't. That's what you gross. That's not what you get to keep. Okay? Taxes, 25%. Uncle Sam's always going to get his cut. Okay? That's if you're on the lower range of the tax bracket. $600. Right now you're left with $1,800. Those expenses we talked about earlier, $1,260. Now you're left with $540. Then what a lot of people do is okay, cool, I got $540 to spend. No, you fucking don't. They go to the bars. They spend $80 on drinks, $20 on trying to get into the club, trying to hit on some girls that are probably out your league. Spend $300 on some Yeezys, right? So you can feel cool. That leaves you with 140. That's what you fucking make. That's how much money you made. Is this 140 right here. You didn't make 2,400. The government made 600 off you. Your landlord made money off you. Your utility company might made money off you. Your Wi-Fi company, your phone company, they all made money off you. Up to $1,260, right? The bars made $100 off you. Kanye made $300 off you, right? This is what you made. 140. You paid everybody else, and then you decided to pay yourself. You took this 140 and you decided to use that for emergency fund, 3 to 6 months worth of expenses, and you decided to invest that. That's not how you do shit. That's how most people do shit. That's not how you do shit. This is what you should do. Not what most people do. This is what you should do. Same breakdown. 2,400 is your gross. Now with that 2,400, you pay yourself first. You don't pay the government first. You don't pay Nike first. You don't pay Kanye first. You don't pay utility guy first. You pay yourself first. At least 10%. At minimum 10%. Now this is not including your 401k, your 403b, your Medicare, your healthcare. Not including that. None of that. This 10% is going directly towards you, your pocket, your investments, okay? You take that $240 off the top of your gross. First you go to your emergency fund with this 240, 2K. Once you fill that bucket, no matter how many months it takes, once you fill that bucket, 3 to 6 months, $3,780, okay? Once you fill that bucket, now you invest every single month. Every single month you take this 240, you fill this bucket. If your 3 to 6 months gets dipped into, you take from investments, you move it into 3 to 6 months. If your emergency fund gets dipped into, you take from your 3 to 6 months and you move it into investments, right? So you're constantly filling these buckets, starting with emergency fund, then moving to 3 to 6 months, then you invest. Always pay yourself first 10% off the top, no matter what. You're the most important person in your life. You need to make sure that you're financially taken care of. 10% off the top. If taxes, expenses leave you with nothing at the bottom, then you need to reduce your expenses. That's a whole other conversation, a whole separate video. But always pay yourself first, okay? Don't pay the government first. Don't pay your landlord first. Pay yourself first. Make sure that you are okay and that future you is going to be taken care of, right? After all of that, after you gross, after you pay yourself, after taxes, after expenses, this is how much you have to spend on you, okay? You can do whatever you want with this money. You can take that 300, you can go buy your Yeezys, you can go to the fucking club, you can do whatever, right? If it's me though, I'm going to take this money and I'm going to invest back over here into my asset bucket, into my emergency, my emergency fund, my 3 to 6 months, and my investment fund. I'm going to invest there. Here's the benefit of investing in this bucket over here. Once you fill this up, you're in good shape. You can handle bad situations and things that pop up in accidents. Once you fill this up, if you lose your job, you're okay. You have enough money saved up to last yourself 3 months so you can go find a new job. Once you fill this investment up, this investment feeds back into your gross income. It's a fucking shitty arrow, my bad. But this investment feeds into this gross income. When this gross income increases, the amount you pay yourself, 10%, will also increase. When the amount you pay yourself increases, your investment increases. When your investment increases, your gross income increases. When these all increase continually, this number down here will also increase. It's a cycle. It's a loop. Pay yourself first. Take care of yourself. Invest. That investment will turn into more income, which will leave you more money for stupid shit like Yeezys. Investments, stocks, bonds, real estates, cryptos. You want to have a little bit in each. That's a separate video, but I'm just trying to preview it now. You want to diversify in each of these, and then you want to diversify within each of these, and then you want to diversify throughout countries, right? That's the broad, high-level view. We'll dig into those in another video, so stay tuned for that.